In this episode, Zain eats a chocolate muffin. I rant about Prius drivers.
Old driving Prius.
And we finally get up close and personal with the new BMW Z4. Our second day in the Golden State started off with a cursory inspection of the now battle-hardened BRZ. The amount of salt on the car was worrying, as were the now baked-in bug guts, but we didn't really have time to clean it, so off to the next adventure? And away we went, on the 1-hour drive south to beautiful Monterey, the city that Car Week calls home. Monterey is a gorgeous little town right off the Monterey Bay, complete with exotic wildlife, a constant cool ocean breeze, and plenty of photo opportunities to jumpstart your Instagram modeling career. And oh yeah, they're known for their cars, too.
We have arrived in Pebble Beach,
California. We're up in 17 Mile Drive, which is, it's like a gated community.
Ooh, yeah, there's a thing
on steroids.
There's a thing.
Little map. It's $10.25 to get in. I need to look up on the internet if there's a way to get around that. That's expensive, dude. We're balling on a budget.
I just don't understand why you had to add in the 25 cents. Okay.
Yeah, that was a real.
Make me pay you the 10 fine, but you throw in the quarter. I don't understand that.
But yeah, so this road is just there's a lot of like bluffs and like scenic lookout points, and then just a ton of super big, super wealthy people houses. Big houses, expensive
wealthy people houses.
Yeah, a lot of wealthy people. But you know the best part is, they're all driving Priuses. Drive a Tesla or something even, but like they're all driving Priuses.
Not
like,
even like the Prime.
No, just like old
just
Priuses.
Like
we're on this guy for miles, and then he turns off and he goes into this freaking like mansion. Like I don't know how many millions of dollars, but
I don't know. He probably has a few.
Yeah, he probably has a few Priuses. We're here. We're just scoping the area for tomorrow's event, the BMW Z4 reveal, which is the kind of main-ish reason why we're here. Yeah. We'll be going and kind of just doing some coverage of the Z4, which should give us an idea of what to expect for the Supra as well, because it'll be similar in size and shape and maybe even the interior. Who knows?
I mean, maybe they'll just show a Supra instead.
Yeah, don't think that. BMW thing is at the Lodge at Pebble Beach, which is just a bit down that way on the right, just off 17 Mile Drive.
Oh, by the way, we saw some deers.
Yeah, deer.
Is it just deer?
Deese.
We saw some deese, and they were really cool.
Classic 911 was kind of pacing us up the hill over here. Totally outpaced him, for sure. I got way more grip than a freaking 964. Porsche Club of America, come at me, bro.
Actually, please come at us.
Yeah. Can we do an event?
Can you?
I'd
Yeah.
love to do a tractor.
Can
with
we
you
have?
guys.
Can we have some 911s, please?
We probably head back up towards Pebble Beach and see what we got over there, but not before getting some scenic shots on the wonderful hills and bluffs that await us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's go do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Just leave the camera here, and then we'll just do it. Just drive.
Yeah, leave the this camera that's so conveniently mounted on the
We're
roof
not
of
gonna
my
even be able
car.
to hear anything.
You hear this? That sound of steel hitting paint.
Yes.
Sound good?
This is all not making the final cut.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, we should.
That's it. That's it.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure I know what a bluff actually is. Nevertheless, we posted up at one of the many picturesque points to take some photos. And of course get that sweet B-roll, because let's be honest, every Albon video is like 90% B-roll. Am I getting too self-aware? Yeah, okay, back to omniscient narrator. The BRZ had clearly been through a lot, but just like Zen and I, it was stupid enough to keep going, day after day, mile after mile. After losing a toge run to an Asian girl in an Evo, we started cruising back home. The BMW event was bright and early the next morning, and we most certainly didn't want to miss it. The next morning's drive to Monterey was a scenic one for sure. After narrowly escaping angered Porsche enthusiasts for yesterday's comments, we made our way into Pebble Beach. The parking lot was a humbling reminder of how difficult it is to flex in Monterey. You could drive a sports car, classic car, supercar, you name it, but unless you were in something really special, you were relegated to the dirt lot with the rest of the scum. We, of course, drove in with a car that looked like it had recently been set on fire, so I'm sure our parking neighbors were thankful for us at least making their cars look better. Alright, enough fooling around. It was time to do what we came here to do. So Zain and I made our way to the BMW event on the Pebble Beach golf course. The setup was superb, with all of the previous BMW Z cars lined up on the 18th hole, set ahead a landscape that looked to have been painted by Bob Ross himself. The history of BMW's iconic Roadster is an interesting one, starting with the radical design and silly doors of the original Z1, followed by the focused sportiness of the Z3, then the not-so-focused Z4, all with the Fisker-designed Z8 thrown in the mix, which, while a Z car, was the spiritual successor of the BMW 507 from 50 years prior. So the Z, while always BMW's answer for a drop-top sports car, has never really had a singular identity. This of course leaves the drawing board open for the designers of the latest Z4, and we were interested in seeing what it was they came up with. All that being said, this wasn't the Z4. Instead it was the M8 Grand Coupe, which was followed by the new M850i. Which were cool, but where's the Z4? Oh, wait. There it is. First impressions, not bad. Perhaps a little overstyled in some places, understyled in others, but overall, it's a handsome little roadster. Oh, and when I say little, it's definitely smaller than most people may have thought. With a 97.2-inch wheelbase, this Z4 is about an inch shorter than the outgoing model, but the overall body is longer and wider. It all works to make this car look more purposeful, more sports car than luxury car, which couldn't be said about the E89 that came before it. Now, of course, we're Toyota guys, and for the 4 of you that don't know, this new Z4 was co-developed with Toyota, and thus, this is the sister car to the new Supra. Now, that's a big deal for us, because despite the cars being developed largely independently, the Supra twins share numerous hardpoints in their chassis, as well as the turbocharged 3-liter inline-6. This means that the overall size and shape of the two cars will be similar, and so far, we like what we see. The hype around both this car and the Supra, though, is huge. And the only way we'll know if the Supra twins can live up to that hype is when we get behind the wheel to drive them, which hopefully will be soon. After paying our respects to the patron saint of rich people, we checked out the rest of Pebble Beach. Byton had their M-Byte electric car, which must be self-driving, because I have no clue how you'd be able to drive with a 6-foot-wide television in front of you. The other manufacturers hadn't really finished setting up yet, so there wasn't much to see there. And the Tour d'Elegance wasn't until the next day, so all we found was a lady in a golf cart. But over at the Infinity booth, they had a little surprise for us. A Hakosuka Skyline GTR. Now, I know I hate on Nissans all the time, but the Hakosuka truly is a personal favorite of mine. One of the poster cars of my youth that really made me fall in love with Japanese cars. Living in the States, it's not every day you get to see such a beautiful example like this, so you can bet that Zan and I spent a while poring over every detail of this JDM legend. After that, we headed back to the BRZ. God, this thing looks awful. Tomorrow is going to be another jam-packed day, so we called it quits early today to get some well-deserved rest. What was happening tomorrow, you ask? Well, ein Paradies für deutsche Autofans.